Now students, we are going to study functions of sympathetic nervous system. So in our previous video, we have already discussed some functions of sympathetic nervous system. Now in this lecture, we are again going to revise these functions. So sympathetic division is actually active in the case of stressful situations, like in case of trauma, fear, hypoglycemia, cold, and exercise. So, what are the effects of stimulation of sympathetic division? So, effect output is to increase the heart rate and blood pressure. Secondly, it increases the blood flow to the skeletal muscles. Thirdly, it causes the dilation of the pupil of the eye. And the fourth one is it causes the dilation of the bronchioles. Now, this is the system which is basically active in fight or flight responses. So whenever your body or whenever your system is in fight or flight situation, that in this case, there are definitely certain changes experienced by the body. So there are definitely certain changes experienced during emergency situations. So these situations are actually the fight or flight conditions. So what happened in these conditions, there will be activation of the sympathetic nervous system. There will be activation of the sympathetic responses. Either there will be direct sympathetic activation or either there will be indirect. How indirect? Indirect with the help of the adrenal medulla. Now, in case of the direct stimulation of the sympathetic division, definitely there will be release of certain neurotransmitters, particularly epinephrine and norepinephrine. While in case of indirect system, there will be stimulation of adrenal medulla. What adrenal medulla will do, it will again release epinephrine and norepinephrine. Definitely, both will be released. There will be lesser amount of the release of norepinephrine as compared to epinephrine. So, in both cases, in the case of direct stimulation of sympathetic nervous system or with the help of the adrenal medulla, there will be release of two neurotransmitters. First one is the epinephrine and the second one is norepinephrine. Now, what happens in case of these neurotransmitters? Whenever there is direct stimulation, there will be release of the neurotransmitters and they will attach themselves to the receptors. While what happens in case of adrenal medulla, whenever there is activation of adrenal medulla, whenever there is any signal given to the adrenal medulla, there is release of epinephrine and norepinephrine. Now, these epinephrine and norepinephrine will be released in the blood. They will go towards the effector organ and will produce their effect. Now, in the case of the sympathetic division, it actually prepares the body to handle uncertain situation, unexpected stimulus. So this is the diagram of Lippincott, which is representing fight or flight stimulus. This is representing that your sympathetic output is actually a diffused output. It is producing a magnitude of greater effect. It is producing a response of greater magnitude. Why this is diffused system? Because the postganglionic neurons are actually innervating many organs in case of the sympathetic system. We have discussed these pre and post sympathetic nerves in our previous lecture. So this is the diagram from Lippincott, which is representing that what happens in the case whenever there is activation of sympathetic division. So this red color is showing the responses of sympathetic division. In the case of the eye, there will be contraction of the iris radial muscles, thus causing the pupil dilation. There will be dilation of the bronchioles. There will be secretions of epinephrine and norepinephrine from adrenal medulla. Secondly, there will be a release of renin. Whenever these neurotransmitters are acting on beta-1 receptor, there will be increased secretion of renin. Whenever they bind to the alpha-1 receptor, there will be decreased secretion of renin. So this is the point regarding kidney, which you must remember. So you can note that in this case, the kidney is mainly receiving our supply, that is receiving the nerve supplies from the sympathetic division. Now, what happens in case of uterus and bladder? There will be relaxation of the detrusor muscles of our system. There will be contraction of the trigone and sphincters. Then in the case of the genital, what happens? There will be stimulation of the ejaculation. Now, there will be release of thick and viscous salivary secretions, your heart rate will get increased. There will be increase in your blood pressure. There will be decreased muscle motility and tone, and there will be constriction of the sphincters. Secondly, there will be relaxation of the uterus. So you must also remember this point, that in case of the sympathetic activation, there is relaxation of the uterus. Secondly, there will be dilation of the skeletal blood vessels. The blood vessels which are actually dealing with the skeletal muscles, there will be relaxation of these vessels. So you can also see in this diagram that your genital and the blood vessels of the skeletal muscles are mainly receiving these supplies from the sympathetic division only. So, while in case of the vessels of the skin, mucous membrane, and the sphincter areas, there will be the constriction. So, this was the whole diagram which I was discussing. So, this was all about the functions of the sympathetic division. Now, in the next lecture, we will discuss the functions of parasympathetic division.